Then motherboard installation. Motherboard actually we have done it. BIOS and CMOS we have done it. And we have done last week maybe the microprocessor, right?
Yes, sir.
So four experiments till now we have done. Okay. So today, um, RAM. Okay, I think that these are the assignments that we are doing at this moment. The what are the left actually experiments are which are the experiments we are having left here that we are going to be
Sir,
do the RAM.
microprocessor.
Yeah, last week we have done microprocessor. Right, thank you. So we are going to be do about the RAM, the memories actually, RAM and the hard drive. There are two experiments are there. Then we are having a experiment about the power supply. Actually, with that the power supply, we do also the cabling. There are a lot of cablings are there. Already we have studied from that the motherboard components about the power connectors. That we are having the different power connectors that comes from the power supply, as well as we are having some SATA connectors, SATA cable, PATA cable. So we are having some system connectors that with that actually the LED lights, the start button, reset button of system unit, the LED lights are going to be turned on. So there are some cabling parts are there that actually we do the practice and that when we are discussing about the power supply. So these are all that the experiments. I mean, very important that to do it with the practically. I mean, in the lab. But at this moment, we are not having that uh, we cannot go physically into the lab. So yes, this is quite difficult actually. That the things we are studying, all the things we have to practice in the lab. So when the university is going to be open, we need several classes actually for practicing all those things that we are studying at this moment. What should we do? Actually, we do not have any other way that, okay, yeah. One thing you can do, I think, yes, the experiments we're doing, like that, how to install the microprocessor. So you can watch a YouTube video for the experiments that we are doing. So if you are seeing that the YouTube, watching that the YouTube video, that okay, how to install a microprocessor, how to install a RAM, how to install the hard disk, how to do the cabling, or simply you can check with that the assemble, right? How to assemble a desktop computer. So you can actually go to the YouTube video. So if you're watching those videos, then you are going to be get very much clear ideas at this moment, as because we cannot go to the lab. So those videos will help you to check that okay how these components are going to be installed or how these components are going to be properly assembled. So the YouTube videos can help you at this moment until we enter into that the lab. We will not be able to do the hand-on practice. This is really important that we are doing the hand-on practice for these experiments. So I think that today we are going to be moved with that RAM, and the topic RAM is actually not so big. That I mean to discuss with the documents. It is all about that the practicing that okay how you can actually install that the RAM onto that the motherboard. So I think we are going to be also go with that the another experiments that is going to be the hard disk that is going to be a bit bigger, and that also we need the practice actually at the in the lab. So let me share with you first. Can you see the experiment number 4?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. So with this experiment, it is going to be actually total. We are going to finish that the total experiment number, total 5 experiments. So experiments 5 actually we have done in the last week about the microprocessor. So this is the 4. and it is talking about the random access memory, that RAM. So we have already got very good ideas from our theory class that what the memory is, and we have very much got the informations about that. We are having that the volatile two types of memories, volatile memory and non-volatile memory. So we have learned that okay, our primary memory or volatile memory has that the different parts, like that we are having the RAM, we are having the cache memory, we are having the register. So these are the type of primary memory or main memory, or that the volatile type memories. So these are the memories we're talking about. Actually, this the experiment counts for the RAM, the random access memory. This is actually mainly considered as the main memory of the computer system, as because this is the place that all the instructions before going to the executions, it must need to come to the RAM, right? So we know that, I mean, we are using that the DRAM, that is the dynamic RAM. So this is the RAM, main memory, primary, considered as the main primary memory into our computer system. So this is what actually this experiment is about. That okay, that how we are going to be deal with that the RAM into our computer system, or how we are going to be install, how you're going to be uninstall, how you're going to be check, troubleshoot if there is any problem with the RAM. So how to check that? Okay, so you can see that these are the four points we are having that actually we are going to be deal with into this experiment. So you can see that determining the amount of RAM in the PC. So it is going to be tell us that okay, how actually this is about how to check that okay, how much RAM we are having into that our computer system. So it can be it can be checked actually many ways. There are many ways to ways are there. Several ways are there, not many actually. Several ways are there to determine that okay, how much RAM I have. Is it 2 GB? Is it 4 GB? Is it 8 GB? So how I'm going to be determined that how much RAM I am having? That is one of the point. And now the question comes, the second one, the second point we need to be handled with, that is the identifying types of RAM. So this point is talking about that okay, what type of RAM you are having into your computer system. So you know that, I mean, the RAM we are using into that our memory slot. There are actually different types of DRAMs are coming in the market. We are having, I mean, every period of time that an upgraded RAM is actually coming into the market. So these days, you know, the DDR4, DDR5. So these are the recent memories that RAMs that actually we are using into our computer system. So DDR4, DDR3, DDR2. So actually it started with the double data rate, DDR, right? So later on that actually it is upgrading with the versions DDR1, DDR2, and so on. So this is actually how we are going to identify that okay, what type of RAM I am having actually into my PC. So this is the second point is talking about. The third point is removing and installing RAM. Yes, so that is actually just doing the assemble with the RAM, assemble this deassemble. So that means how we are going to be install the RAM into our onto the motherboard, into the memory slots, and how we are going to be uninstall that the random access memory from that our motherboard. So that is actually is going to be tell us that okay, how to remove and how to install, and exploring the RAM specification with CPU JAD. So this is that the last point that we're going to be deal with. So this already we are very much familiar with that what the CPU JAD is, and I hope that in all of your PCs already you have installed the CPU JAD, and that there actually we can also explore that okay, what type of RAM we are having and how what are the options are there, and what are the meaning of these options that you should have to actually explore. So let's start with that the determining the amount of RAM in PC. So yes, in this exercise you will be use various methods to determine how much memory is currently installed in your system and how much it is capable of holding. Yeah, right. And at the end of this lab, you'll be able to find RAM measurements, identify how much RAM is installed in a system, and determine how much RAM a particular motherboard supports. That is also actually very much important things for our computer system. Okay, so first of all, in the step one, it is talking about turn on PC and watch the display as the system goes through its startup routine, otherwise known as a post. Typically, the RAM count runs near the top left side of the screen, and we are having an example figure of a type to know a typical RAM count. And most BIOS programs display the RAM count in kilobytes. To convert this figure to megabytes, divide it with the 1024. Actually, this is the part. It's not anymore in the recent times that actually we are using that the computer system. In that the previous time, there was, I mean, all the computers, when you start up, when you click on that the power button on the computer system, the first thing we used to see this one. So with that, actually, we could get an idea about our computer system, that okay, what are the processor I am having, what type of what how much memory I am having. So this is coming with the kilobyte, and it has said that if you are, I mean, just divide it 1024, then you're going to get how much megabyte is there, the clock frequency. So this is actually the usual screen of before. I mean, long back ago, actually, that, I mean, when we are using that the Windows 97 and so on. So this is what, I mean, this is not actually these days. It's just going to be show you that, I mean, usually it is shows that okay, a logo of the brand. Like if you're using the Asus computer, then it is going to be show Asus. If you are having the gigabyte motherboard, it just shows displays the gigabyte, or and so on. Actually, that there are different now the different brands are there, so the different brands logos you'll be able to see onto the screen. So these days, actually, this is not having anymore. So this is that the portion is actually not useful now for the typical RAM count. So many systems run through the startup routine quickly, so RAM count. So this is actually telling that actually how you're going to be pause the screen. Okay, so if the screen is coming like that into your computer system, then how you're going to be pause this screen. So it just happens. It was there like that. I mean, some of the pieces it could show that this screen only for a second. So if it is only for run for a second, then actually it is very difficult to see that okay, the informations are there on the screen. So there was I mean, way to pause or break the key to pause the boot process, so that there is enough time to written down the number onto the screen. So that means if you're when that the screen was coming, so if we could actually press that the escape button or break or space button, on that time it was happened that actually this screen could be stay there until we again press that the space button. So this is what, I mean, the way that there was the way that actually to find out that what does the I mean what are the what is the size of our RAM into the computer system. So this we could actually check from the screen. That this was one of the way. Sorry, as I mentioned already, that this is not, I mean, in the recent computers you'll not find it, this informations like this one. So this one actually we can think that it is not anymore into our computer systems. Okay, but we have learned it that, I mean, previous time, that how that is one of the way that we could find out that how much RAM I am having into my computer system. Okay, so there is another thing that, I mean, we can that is going to be useful if you are looking to that the BIOS. Depending on system BIOS, it may also possible to see a RAM count in the system configuration summary. This is a screen that lists the pieces, CPU type, clock speeds, mass storage, devices, port address, and so on. Typically, it can be also seen an entry for the system base memory and extended memory, the total amount of RAM installed. So actually, that is one of the way that we know that, I mean, So you can see that the information it could be given into that on the screen itself, that okay, if you're pressing the delete key, then you can go inside of that the setup of the BIOS or CMOS setup. Okay, so if you're going to that the BIOS or CMOS setup, then actually also you'll be able to see that okay, how much amount of memory you are having into the computer system. So in that computer system, this is the one of the way to know that actually how much RAM we are having, determining the amount of RAM in the PC, how much RAM actually you are having into our computer system. And the second step, use the following methods to determine the amount of RAM on the system from which any version of Windows. Now it is another different step. Okay, so this is finished. There is another step that how we can actually determine how much RAM I am having into my computer system. So this is talking about the Windows Vista, but we are not actually with this version of the Windows at this moment. Most probably we are using Windows 7 or Windows 10. Most of us actually we are using these days the Windows 10. So anyway, so this is not going to be an issue. It is going to be same. It does not matter that what type of Windows operating system you are using, but you are going to be able to see it by going to the My Computer properties. I mean, on the desktop, if you are having that the mic, you are going to be have the icon, the My Computer, and if you mouse click on that the icon and go click the properties, then you will be able to see that some of the system properties. And this one actually known by most of us already. That I mean, this is the one of the way that actually we can learn out quickly that how what is that what type of CPU we are having into our system, and how much RAM we are having into our system, and what the I mean operating systems we are using. So that I mean some of that the few details we can actually get by going to that the My Computer properties. So that actually all of we know. The RAM card is under the system area. It is possible to see other useful information here, like the processor type window. So that is what actually I was talking about. So yeah, this is that another information that server Windows 2000 server, the amount of RAM in kilobytes, while XP and Vista shows 8 gigabytes. So this is the portion of that the operating system. I mean, you know that there are different operating systems are there. I mean, you know that step by step. I mean, every time that the Windows is updating, the Microsoft is upgrading that the Windows. So when that the XP was there, actually XP is the most Windows XP was that the most useful or most popular or most simplest operating system that actually we have used. I have used actually all of them from the Windows 97. Then it comes the Millennium, then it comes that the XP, then it comes the Vista, then it came that the Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. So these are the recent actually Windows 7, 10, 8, and 10. So I've used them all, but yeah, it was the best one, the Windows XP. But so it was get so much popularity on that time. So when that the Vista came into the market, many people refused, and the Vista has actually so many troubles with the operating system when it introduced. So people used to neglect the any other operating systems than the Windows XP. So that is actually quite interesting. That's why I'm sharing with you. So when that the Vista came into the market and it is not getting the attention of the people, so what the Microsoft has done is that they have with each laptop coming into the market, they have made it mandatory that you must have to must have to use that the Vista. You like it, you do not like it. You like it, you dislike it. So you must have to be used at the Vista. So I can remember also that I have already said you that I have bought a laptop, the Sony laptop, the Bio One. So it was quite expensive on that time that when I bought it. And interestingly, that PC was also with that Vista. But I did not use the Vista. I have installed on it that Windows XP. I mean, even though I mean it was mandatory to use that the Windows Vista onto that the laptop. So many people actually used to do it because I'm sorry, because the Vista when it came into the market, I mean it has that a lot of problems. I mean, a lot of bugs, a lot of errors were there into this operating system. So it did not get any attention, even though that it was mandatory that you must have to use this stuff. for the laptops or the new computers, but people just refused that the Vista. So Vista did not get that much of attention like that the Windows XP it was there. Actually, on that time, people are very happy with this operating system, and that is the very main reason that they did not want to switch onto that the new version. Many people tried it and find it that it's quite difficult. That's why maybe that it did not get that much of attention. But when the Windows 7 comes, then it got some sort of attention. Better than the Vista, and slowly, everyone was switching from the Windows to I'm sorry, Windows XP to that the Windows 7. So there was actually also that I also switched from that the Windows XP to the Windows 7, but there was no other way because there are some tricks that Microsoft Windows has been used. That there are some recent softwares, application softwares, some specialized softwares that cannot be run with that the Windows XP. And also that the internet facilities that network settings into your PC, the advanced securities. So there are some features are there. Those features are not really not really could be used by the Windows XP. So the users of the computer must need to be switched from that the Windows XP to Windows 7. So anyway, so I do not know that why I'm discussing about this. It's not necessary to discuss here. I have clicked on something maybe. Anyway. Okay, so this is how that it has day by day it has been changed actually that people how they have switched from one operating system to another operating system. Okay, so there are a lot of stories that are there actually with that Windows XP, Vista, and that the Windows 7. So in the recent time, most of the people in this world they love to use that the Windows 10, right? So the 10 is good one now without any doubt. And there was also another problem with that the system requirements that when you're using that the Windows XP and later on the Windows 8 also came into the market. So that is another interesting version that it has also create some stories that when it came into the market, it did not get that much of attention. So it is like when people are asking to switch from the Windows to Vista, when the story was like that. Same here also that from Windows 7 to Windows 8. So people did not like Windows 8. They were actually still that some of the people are using the Windows 7 into their PC. Okay, so they are not just to switch even in the to Windows 10. But somewhat the Windows 10 actually has been improved a significant level these days. So many people and most of the people in this world they're happy. If you're buying a new PC, you're using the Windows 10, so people are happy actually with that the Windows 10 because it has so many great features, graphical features that attracts the end users. So anyway, so this is what that now actually we are in the Windows 10 at this moment, and this is what actually we are talking about. Can now come back from that operating system to about the step to that what we say that the another way is that to check the amount of RAM that okay in the desktop in the when you are start your computer startup, you can see that the my computer is there an icon, and on that the my computer icon, click on the right mouse click button, and you are going to get the properties. So if you're going to visit that the properties, so you'll be able to see this panel. So in this panel, it is actually telling about that your operating system, that what type of operating system you are using, and then copyright. Okay, fine. Then this is that the service pack version, that service pack 1, service pack 2 was there, and this is actually that it is showing that your RAM. Okay, so you can see that the processor, so that the processor was 2.90 dual processor. It was 90 gigahertz, and installed memory is 2 GB. You can see that 2.00 GB. So this is how what actually there is one of the easiest way to know the amount of RAM that you're having into your computer system, or to amount of the processor, that what type of processor you are using. So this is the easiest way that actually you can know by just simply clicking on that my computer icon properties. Okay, so this is what actually it is telling, that I mean how you should have to go. So if it is the Windows, any type of, I mean, Windows operating system, that you can go the same way, and I'll say the click start, programs, accessories, system tools, system information. In the system summary, look for a value called the total physical memory. So this is also another way that you can go to that. I mean, every computer has that the start menu button. So if you're going to the start menu button, if you're going to that the programs, if you're going to that the accessories, system tools, system information, so you can simply, if you're using that the Windows 10, so we are having that the that the Windows button right side, we are having a searching tool. So if you're just writing that the system information, that's enough. If you're clicking on the system info, writing the system information, you will see that, I mean, you are just by clicking on the system information, you can get the detail of that your system, that okay, how much, what are the hardware components actually you're having. You'll be able to see several things, like that this is that the system information district, and that is also one of the way that actually you'll be able to check that I mean how much RAM actually you're having into your computer system. So also that there are different other informations you'll be able to see. So you can actually simply I mean, if you're using the Windows 10, if you're just simply writing that the system information, so you can say that system information, right? So if you're writing that, you'll be able to easily enter into that the system information, and then by clicking on that, the hardware resources, the components, and the software environment is same for that the Windows 7, Windows 10, that the same list you'll be able to see. I mean, of course, that you should have to understand that uh, you are you are having that the components onto your board, onto your computer system. The components are going to be shown based on that what actually you have, right? So it's not going to be, I mean, the components inside of that the this taskbar, it's not going to be same with my computer, with your computer, because the components are different for the different computer. So this is what the fact. So this is one of the way that actually we can also know. So we have seen that actually we are having here the several ways to know that. So in this document we can see that there are 4 ways that actually we can check how that the amount of memory can be known. Not only this 4, there are some other ways also you'll be able to get it. I think that also by using that your CPU jet or the different tools, that you'll be able to know that actually how much RAM you're going to be have. So you can see that it is DDR3 and module size is 2048 megabytes. So you know that, I mean, this is for the same PC that the last figure we have seen, this one, right? So this is so this is another way that by using the CPU jet or any other tools, similar tools, we can actually able to know that actually how much RAM we are having. Not only this way, but also another way is that, I mean, if you're just trying to open that the system tray, I mean that your caching tray, and just install that your RAM from that the RAM module or RAM slot. If you're just installing it on that the physically, also you'll be able to see that how much RAM you're having into your computer system. So there are many ways actually to know that how much amount of RAM I have into my desktop computer, even as well as that our my laptop computer. Anyway, so the next thing here coming, that identifying the types of RAM. So this is actually that quite interesting topic, that I mean the list is getting bigger and bigger these days. Okay, anyway, so it says that you will examine and compare the different RAM package. At the end of this lab, you'll be able to recognize and differentiate between the different kinds of RAM packages, and yes, the lab materials, that demonstration units of various RAM packages. So this is now we are having a lot of RAMs into our lab to, I mean, to check physically that, I mean, older to that the newer, the different different types of RAMs. and by physically seeing them, you'll be able to actually compare, okay, that how to identify that what type of RAM it is. So that is the here that, I mean, it is trying to show to you that some of that the RAMs into this here, so that the step one, typically as older machines become obsolete and fall into disuse, they are easier to acquire for little or no cost. Many times this is exactly the type of PC you have available to be assembled, so there is a good chance that it will use older memory RAM as well. If you are using an older non-production machine for your exploration, there is a good chance the motherboard supports one of these older types of RAM packages included here for your information. So yeah, so this is, it is telling that, I mean, to know that actually the different types of RAMs. Yes, if you're dealing with that the older types of PC, if you're having into your computer system, or if you're having that your relatives computers, that, I mean, it can be happen that, I mean, at the home, maybe the 20 years back computer is in some home. So if you are going to into inside of that the if you're checking that the RAM of that the system, so you can actually explore that how the RAM was look like before. These days, how the RAM is look like, you will be able to check with that the recent cases. So here, that there are actually the RAMs are coming with the different pin numbers. So day by day that the pins are increasing. So I've already said to you that, okay, the RAM modules are, I mean, it is was with that the 168 DIMMs, the DIMMS. So DIMM module that actually we are used to say it. These are the about 5 inches long and have 84 physical pins, edge connectors on the side, and all 168 connectors are used. So the board has two notches at the bottom, one near the center and the other near an end. So this is actually it is trying to show you that how a 160 pin DIMM RAM was look like. So this is the fact here that we are having this this the RAM module, that stick of RAM. So you can see that there is a, this is the part actually that, I mean, you can see that this is the part like comps. So this is actually the golden plate. Okay, so these are the pins that you can see the number of 168 pins, and here we are having some notches. So these are the some gaps. So these are the notches that actually, these notches are going to be needed when you're going to be install this RAM into the RAM module. So I have already said to you maybe that in the discussions that simply you cannot buy a RAM from a market and simply you'll not be able to install it into your onto your motherboard until you do not know that actually you should have to be know that which type of motherboard you are using into your computer. So if you know that the motherboard, if you're telling that the motherboard model into your in a computer store, they are going to be able to help you to buy that the new RAM. Now they will be able to tell you that which RAM is going to be supported into your system. So you should have to be know that at least that your motherboard model to buy any type of component to upgrading anything into your computer system, that you should have to know at least about your motherboard model number. So if you know that, that is going to be enough for actually buying that the right cards, that expansion cards, RAM, or maybe that processor, or maybe that the graphics card, sound card. So everything actually is going to be depend on that which type of motherboard actually you're having into your system. So this is what actually the RAM you should have to be also. At least you should have to know that the motherboard model, or you should have to be know that, okay, what type of memory slots you're having onto the motherboard, onto your computer motherboard, what type of memory slots you're having, memory module you're having. So if you know that, then you'll be able to buy that the appropriate RAM from the market. So how to, from a RAM, I was telling that from a RAM you're going to be know about that actually what type of RAM it is, how to actually understand that actually how much RAM it is. I mean, by knowing that the informations, I can understand that, okay, how many connectors are there, but what is, how you're going to be understand the size, the amount of RAM. So in each RAM these days, you are going to be get some stickers are going to be actually shouldered onto that RAM module. So the stickers, some stickers are going to be blue, the glue that is going to be fixed into that in your memory slot, memory sticks. So you'll be able to see that its model number, it's a bar with a barcode, and you are going to be get that the name of this module or RAM. And then you are going to be get that what is the release year maybe also, and then the size of the memory you're going to be able to see, and you're going to be able to see that who is that the manufacturer for it, which where it's made in. These all informations you're going to be able to see like this one you can maybe it looks much more clear. So the Korea, that is that the I mean this 184 rim that has been actually uh, made by the Korea, and you can see that what is the size here, 64 MB by 4. So and also that the model number. So if you're looking to this, then this is actually DDR RAM. So you can see that it is written here the DDR, and the size of the RAM is going to be written there under the barcode. And if you're looking to that 250, this is also the DDR2. This one the DDR, simply the DDR, and this is the DDR2. Okay, so you can see written here the DDR2 567. This is the model number. Okay, so this is the 1 GB. So the information actually all that the this is the DDR3. So all of that the RAM is going to be I mean sticker is going to be on into that the RAM memory into that the memory stick. So by that actually also you'll be able to determine that okay how much amount of RAM you are having, as well as that who is that the I mean manufactured this which brand product it is, and what is that the releasing date, releasing year, so that the information is full information you'll be able to get from the stickers. So you can see that we are having this that the day by day the pins are increasing for each of the RAM. So and we are also saying that that means that the RAM is also actually day by day upgrading. So it was that the Rembus dynamic RAM RD RAM, okay, that the RIM one. So is a type of RAM you might find if you are working with a older Pentium 3 or Pentium 4 motherboard. So on that time, with if you are having the Pentium 3 or Pentium motherboard, on that time actually you should have to be used this 100, and most of the cases the dynamic RAM RD RAM, the Rembus dynamic RAM is actually used on that time. A stick of RD RAM is called a RIM. RIM is actually a trademark as word. It is not acronym like that the DIM, despite what many people assume. So this is that you can see that a RIM RAM. So this is the look is different from this that the outlook, because actually this RAM is on the top of the RAM. You can that the body you are saying that is actually known as the heat sink. So this is actually all the motherboard, all the RAM you're going to be buy from your. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir, you can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay, so this is actually a heat sink. I mean, these days, I mean, you can buy it. I mean, most of the RAM we are buying from the market these days, we can use a heat sink on the top of the RAM. RAM stick. So this is actually help to make that the your RAM cooler. You know that the RAM technology. I mean that the your RAM size is increasing. So this we have already discussed about that the heat sink for that the microprocessor, and we say that we should need to be keep our microprocessor always cool and calm. So that's why we are using the different technologies, the cooling technologies for the processor. So in case of the RAM also, I mean, if the RAM size is bigger, it is going to be also produce some heat, but it is not actually not really really a thing need to be considered like that the way that the processor we are talking about. But here also these days it's a common fashion. You'll be able to see that. I mean, this heatsink is available. So it's up to you actually if you're using that heat sink for your RAM or not. Maybe it is, if you're using it, it is going to be cost maybe only 150 to 200 taka maximum for using this heatsink. So this is actually going to be make your RAM chips are insecure like that. I mean, look that it is actually open, so there can be possible to the dust. A lot of dust can be actually catch by the board, but in this case it is not. It is going to be actually make your circuit board insecure, as well as it is going to be make your RAM polar. So it is going to be more long lasting that actually if you're using costing, I mean, only 150 and 200 taka and using that the heatsink. So anyway, so this is that with the newer RAM, all the newer RAM, it is a common practice that you'll be able to see these heatsinks. And then you're having the DDR. So now the DDR DIMM comes here, the double data rate. So this is that. I mean, what is the difference between these RAMs? Of course, that the RAMs chips here that we are having the 8 chips. Some of them that having that only this 8 chips into one side. Some of them having that the chips into that the both side of that the RAM. Okay, so it depends on that the size, depend on that the design, and also that I mean installing procedure. The notches you're seeing here, right? So you'll be see that the notches are different for the different types of RAM. So by seeing these notches itself, you will be able to understand that okay, they are not going to be fit onto that the same memory slot onto the motherboard. So that is what that the different motherboards coming into the market with that upgradation. The different memory slots are there, so different types of RAMs are there. So that is what actually day by day these are improving. So that means the memory modules on the motherboard must need to be also upgraded. So based on that, the memory slots you're having on the board, that the RAMs actually, based on that the RAMs are coming, and based on that the memory size is increasing. The way that the memory modules is also changing or upgrading, you can simply say. So this is the DDR DIMM RAM that you can see here. So now you're having 240 pin DDR2 DIMMs, and as well as 244 DDR3. So here we are having here that the different types of RAM modules. So here these days you're having the DDR5, right? So the DDR5 onto that the market, as well as that DDR6 RAM, right? DDR6 RAM basically DDR5 RAM you can get into the market. So the DDR6 also, it is actually say that the uh, this is called that the DDR6 RAM. So actually these days the DDR6 RAM coming is it in the market, that is known as the GDDR6. So that is actually that graphics double data rate by 6 synchronization dynamic random access memory. So this is the fact actually here, that I mean day by day the RAMs are improving and the different RAMs are coming into the market. So that it is going to be have the different look and different notches, different pin numbers. The pin numbers are increasing, the chips numbers are increasing, and their I mean the notches are different. Okay, so the module are going to be also different. So that the different RAMs are coming into the market. They are getting the much more speed than that their previous versions. So day by day that the RAM power is increasing. So that day by day that the RAMs are increasing. I mean, in that my time, I think I have used the 1 GB RAM only, but these days in my PC itself, I'm having that the 8 GB RAM. That the PC at this moment I'm using at my home, that is having that the total 8 GB RAM. So 16 GB RAMs are there, 32 GB RAMs can be also used in that the future or with the desktop pieces. So that is what I mean. You know that I mean this is what that the memories are day by day. That memories performance are increasing, and with that the new technology that I mean the RAMs sticks RAMs are actually the primary memory is actually getting bigger, and having the bigger, you know that the bigger the primary memory you're having, So that means your computer will be able to handle that uh, good amount of applications. I mean, a process that different processes are going to be easily dealt by that the processor if you are having a bigger size RAM. So that your computer service. I mean, if you're looking for a better service into the computer system, if you are look that, I mean, if you want your computer is going to be fastest, then you should need to be consider. I mean, one of the components also going to be that your RAM, that how much RAM you are going to be have into your computer system. So that with that the different we are having just seeing some of the RAMs here, and with that the RAM we have learned that okay, the pins numbers are increasing day by day. With that the versions of RAMs are increasing day by day, and the size of RAMs also increasing day by day. And we have learned about mainly here the notches, that okay, there are different, I mean, the physical look of that the RAM. And we have learned about there are notches, and these notches are going to be useful when you are going to be installed at the RAM stick onto your motherboard. So onto your into your memory slots on the motherboard. So in the memory slots, that I mean the motherboard, the memory slot you're having, not all these RAMs are going to be fit. By saying that the notches itself, you can understand. So you should need to be know that which type of RAM module you are having into your motherboard, onto your motherboard, and then based on that you need to be buy the RAM, and that RAM exactly going to be fit onto that the slot. So you have to install that the RAM onto that the memory slots that we already know. So this is the coming of that. I mean, among these all the RAMs that you are seeing here. So it is telling that, I mean, this is that the RAM, the DDR3 DIMM is actually most fastest. And here that install removing and installing RAM. So this is simply that it is trying to tell us that okay, how we are going to be install the RAM. Okay, I think let's have a break. A break. We are going to be start from here on. Okay, so let's have a 10 minutes break. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, we are now going to be talk about that the installing and removing that the RAM. So of course that the there is a correct procedure to installing the RAM. How we are going to be if it is already installed on the memory slot, then how are you going to be remove the RAM safely and correctly? And if the memory slot is empty and we are going to be install the RAM, then how it is going to be done correctly or safely. That is the fact. So yes, of course, that I mean to installing that the RAM properly into the RAM slots, there should need to be follow some procedures like for installing every components of the computer system, whatever that the things you're going to be installed into the RAM slot. um or the CPU socket, or maybe that PCI expansion cards onto that the PC. There are some ways that we should have to be follow for installing those components. So if you're not installing them the correctly, if you're not following that the procedures for installing the components on the motherboard, then you can actually destroy that the component. So these are the components are actually really expensive. Not only that, but also I mean if you're not taking care of when you're installing or installing that the components from the motherboard, you can actually destroy that the motherboard itself. So if that the motherboard is gone, that means it is going to be cost a lot of money. So that is what actually it is really, I mean it is necessary that we should have to follow that the correct procedures for installing each of the components and installing each of the components from the computer system or the motherboard. So this is actually really important. So here it is telling that these are the following procedures we should have to be take. So it is showing for a dim RAM that it is showing that the steps, but it can be followed for each and every RAM. So we should have to be looked that okay, how many notch we are having onto that the RAM. So depend on that the notch, we should have to be, I mean, place that the RAM accordingly. That the notch here on that the memory stick and notch into that the memory slots, right? It should need to be matched when you are installing them. So you can see that in the each of the motherboard can have several memory slots. So it's suggesting that okay, if I'm having that four memory slots, and if they are supporting the 2 GB RAM for each of the slots, so that means separately we can use the four sticks we can install onto that the motherboard. So that means with the 2 GB into 4, 8 GB total RAM can be used. If it is the two slots, it can happen that it's each of them 2 GB, or each of them are having the 4 GB. So that means you'll be able to use the two sticks 8 GB RAMs. So that is what I mean when you're going to be install that the RAM. So there you can see that there are two clips into that the RAM slots. You are going to be see that there are two clips. So that the two clips need to be opened first. So if you're opening first, that's just I mean you need to take the clips to your left side one, and right side one to your right. So when you are opening that, on that time I mean you are going to be ready to install your memory module. Okay, I think that the student number is decreased a lot. So I think let's have that the attendance. Yeah, so if I'm not taking that the second class attendance, then many students are going to be do the same thing, that they'll come, give the attendance, and they're going to be leave. So this is not actually, this should not be there. Mm, I don't know that why. I mean, why that some of the students are only coming for that attendance. I do not know that how the attendance is only important for them, not that the lectures, not that the things that what we are studying. So it can happen that I mean only one or two students or maybe three students are having some internet issues. But when in a class that you are having that 40 students, and out of them I mean, 15 students are not here. 10 students are, I mean, just leaving the class. Then this is really, I mean, this is really a major concern that why it is happening. So that means the teacher of the class is not, I mean, uh, attentive of this, or that, I mean, he's not actually taking care of that fact. So it should not be there. It should not be there. If you're coming to the class, you should need to be there into at the end of the class. And this is the problem in this semester. I'm finding this is the third semester, maybe the third or fourth. I think anyway that the fourth semester that we are running into that the online. But this time, this is the first experience of that the online class that out of 40 students, I mean, only 20 to 25 students are staying, and rest of them actually are leaving the class. So this is really a major concern, and that is what, I mean, it is making me disappointing that why the students of this class are behaving like that. I have not seen that. I mean, before, I have not seen that the students are behaving like that. They are coming to the class and they are leaving without informing. And also that I think students are not participating. They're not talking at all. They're just listening. And some of them are, even though in the class, they are not listening the lecture even. So what is the usefulness of this? That if you're not listening to your instructors, if you're not participating in the class, if you're not, I mean, taking the seriousness that okay, we are doing a class, we are doing a course. So if you're not doing it by yourself, by your own, then I mean, how it is going to be learning something or some topics. So this is the major problems I'm finding. I have already discussed in your class several times that I'm really, I mean, really unhappy with these situations, that why it is happening, that the students are coming to the class, giving the attendance, I'm leaving the class. They are not serious at all. So it should not be like that. It should not be like that. I'm really unhappy with that. And you have a messenger group. So why you people do not discuss about these issues? Why people do not, I mean, some of you, why you are not taking the initiative like that? That sir is really disappointed. Sir is several time already sir discussed in the class that, I mean, students should not go like that. They are coming to the class, giving the attendance and leaving the class. This is actually really embarrassing situations. It should not be like that. I mean, if that the students are doing like that, then there should need to be, I mean, informed that their instructors are not happy with these activities that they are trying to do. So anyway, let's take the attendance again. Abid Hassan is here? No. So he was present in the class, but he left the class. Okay. Ayman Hayat Sanim. Today
Yes,
he,
sir.
okay. So he was absent in the first class. Okay. So he got the attendance of the second class.
Yes, sir.
Mukit Hassan Jim. Jim is not here, so he is absent today. Jahidul Islam.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Pooja Rani Bishas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Labunno.
Present, sir.
Thank you. Afruza Akhtar.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Rahatil Mahmuda. Rahatil Mahmuda is absent today. Okay. Um, Rasel Mullah.
Present, sir.
Thank you. Jerin Akhtar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Pruttasha Roy. She is absent today. Saima Akhtar. She is also she was present in the morning 8:30 plus, but now she's not with us. So you are getting the name also, right? That who are doing these things. So talk with them. I mean, if you know them.
Okay, sir.
Farjana Akhtar Moli.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jannatul Ferdowsi.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oshim. MD Oshim. Look that he was also in that first class, but now he is not here. Sylvia Islam.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Kaushik Akhtar. Kaushik Akhtar was in the 8:30 class, but now she is not with us. Habiba Ferdous Obhi. Obhi is absent today. Mahinur Alam. Mahinur Alam he was also in the morning class 8:30 to 9:30, but now he is not here. Maria Jahanmiti.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ferdowsi Akhtar. Ferdowsi Akhtar. She was in the first class, but not here now. Shaifuddin Ahmed Rokib.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Ashraful Islam Khan. Ashraful Islam Khan is absent today. Meher Afruz Jui. Meher Afruz.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Galib Al Faisal.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Umaira Islam Shifa.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mahmouda Akhtar. Mahmouda Akhtar is.
Yes, sir.
She was in the. Okay. You are here.
Sir,
Okay,
I'm
fine.
here.
Okay, thank you. Rahul Devnath.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mahmoud Akhtar, right? Then Fojia Sarkar Disha. Disha is not here. Disha also was in the 8:30 class. So look that how many people sleep the class today. So you can understand. Um, Tahira Tabassum Choiti.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sumaya Chaudhuri.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Rahul Devnath. Rahul Devnath was also in the first class, today's morning class, but now he is not here. Kamrujaman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mamun Hussain Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mizanur Rahman. He is absent today. Ashikujaman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so so we can
MT
see.
Mohsin Ji, sir.
I did not call your name, right?
No, sir.
Mukit Hassan. Yeah, I called your name. So you're late, right? Late comer into the class.
Yes, I came. He came into sir 8:42, sir. Actually, sir. First time. I missed the attendance, sir.
So you got only one attendance on class. Okay, so this is how that you can see that the students. I have mentioned the name that who are doing this. So please talk with them and let them know that sir is actually checking that who are staying here and who are not. So if for doing that, sir is actually really unhappy with your people. So let them inform that what they are doing, that is not the right thing to do. They are thinking that okay, sir has taken the attendance, so we can leave the class. Sir is not going to be called the attendance again. But even though I have said it into the theory class several times. I think it is third or fourth time I am discussing about this matter. Here we are in this class. I am having some of the students. They have done the classes for the last 2 semesters consecutively. I mean, I think you can ask them that. I mean, the situation was never like that. The students are coming to the class and leaving there by own. I mean, without attending the class. But this is the first time that I'm seeing the students are not serious at all. I mean, this section especially. That I mean, your section, the students are not serious at all about their studies, about their, I mean, learning. So I don't know that why they are doing like this. I have no idea. Anyway, so what can I do? I can simply make them absent. I can simply take the note of their name, and I can actually, maybe I can give them some less marks on their on the exams, on their performance. So what else I can do? I cannot catch them and I cannot bring them into the class if they are not interested. So I do not know that why they are doing like this. I do not have any idea that what is the problem exactly. So anyway, so this is what that the difficulties actually into that the online class. If we could do it into that the physically into that the university, then no student can do like this. Okay, come to the class and leaving the class after giving the attendance. It usually not happen in when you do it physically. But as because it is online, that is actually the students are thinking that okay, who knows that what I'm doing, what we are doing. Uh, I mean, sir is taking the attendance, then whatever the things I want, I can do. So they are thinking that okay, we can easily, I mean, do the fakibajis. Okay, but they are not understanding that. I mean, it is their loss. It is actually they understand it that okay, if they are not doing the class, they are not going to be learned. If they are not listening, they are going to be the loser. They are understanding it. They're not the kids. I mean, they are quite matured. So after that, also, if they're doing like that, then I mean, I do not understand that why they're wasting the money. Why they are, I mean, wasting their monies. Why they are actually, then it is not their money even. It is also that the money is coming from the father's pocket or maybe the family pocket. Some people are, I mean, selling the land. Okay, some of your fathers selling the lands to continuing your studies in the university. So after that also you are not serious. Some of the students are not serious. I mean, when you are going to earn the money, that time you will realize, or that time you will understand that how much difficult it is to earn the money. So I don't understand that. I mean, why I should need to tell these things? You know already this. I mean, you are university students, so your behavior should not be like that. Okay, you are coming to the class, giving the attendance and leaving the class. So if you are not coming the class, I mean, you are thinking attendance is important. This is really, I mean, quite surprising to me because the attendance having that the 10%, okay, fine, 10% marks, but the rest of the marks, 90 marks is going to be depend on that actually what you're doing in the class. You're listening in the class, you are participating in the class, you are doing the activities in the class on time. So if you're not, I mean, doing the rest of the things properly, if you're giving the attendance, you're thinking that I have done my job. I mean, what type of attitude it is like that? I do not understand it. So this is actually serious concern, and I think that I mean I should need to be report the student names into the department. Okay, they are coming to the class, they're giving the attendance, and they're leaving the class. I mean, if it is again and again I am telling, and if the students are not listening to me, then what I can do? Because I mean, and maybe you know that if you're consecutively not coming to the class for 3 days, then your instructor has the power to give you F in the course. So the attendance list I am having, so I am seeing, I mean, in the automation I'm seeing that how many classes the students have done and how look at, I mean, I can tell you that your summary that the Abid Hassan 35% time he is absent in the class. Ayman Hayat Sani, he is 71.43 absent in the class. Mukit Hassan Jin 57.14, and then Rahatil Mahmouda is 35.71% absent in the class. Jerin Akhtar 14% absent in the class. Puttasha Roy absent 28.57%. Samia Akhtar 57.14%. Then Kaushik Akhtar 28.57, OV 42.86, Miti 42.86, Rokib 15% around. The Ashraful Islam Khan 42.86. So Mihir Afruz Jui 35.7%, right? So yeah, the 14% is okay. Maybe out of 14 classes, if you are absent in the two classes, maybe it's fine. But the student, there are several students are 8 out of 14, 8 they are 8 class they have missed, 6 class they have missed, 5 class they have missed, right? For 10 class they have missed. So why? I mean, these the students. I think I should have to write that the email about this student's name. I'm going to be post it. I mean, to your Google. Just a moment. Let me do this job. I think I should need to be get serious now because I have given the warning at least I think 3 to 4 times in the both classes that the CSC 347 and 348. I think it's not working. So if it is not working, then I should have to be actually take that the further approach because I mean if that the report is gone to that the university, then maybe their guardian are going to be informed that what they are doing, and maybe then they are going to be serious about their studies or they are going to be leave the university. Okay, because doing that the BCSC and by giving the attendance, doing that the BCSC is not so easy. You know that. I mean, it's quite hard. That the job you're doing and from completing your graduation is a really high, really difficult task. It's not so easy that okay, you'll come to the class and you'll give the attendance and actually you'll be able to just able to graduate. By giving the attendance you're going to be graduate. The things are not that much easy. So I'm just posting into that your Google Classroom, and you can check that actually what is your situation. So just a moment. And I'm going to be report about those students actually based on that the attendance. If I'm saying that your attendance is above 90%, 90 to 100, then you are safe. Okay, if that the two classes absent, just let me check, just 1 minute. If you are absent in the two classes, if you are absent in the two classes, that's fine. But if it is more than two classes, then how it is going to be acceptable? Okay, it is going to be total class absent. In the class, total number of students is 36. Okay, and that means 12 students are not here. Okay, so I have just posted that your attendance information. So I have written on the top that the serial number, ID, name, then the total number of classes, 14 actually that is, and then absent 14, and then absent percentage. Okay, serially you can check that what is your situation in the class. So please inform that the other students that okay, sir is really serious about now this your attendances. So sir is going to be report your name that if that your attendance is poor into the class. That and only I can do. Otherwise, I think rather than you're not listening me. That the students are coming, leaving that the class after giving the attendance. They already knew that I have informed them several times about it. But as because they are not serious these issues, So if, as because they are not listening me, then I think I should need to be only one thing I can do. That is actually I can report the student's name into the department, and I am going to be see that actually your scores. That based on that you active. If you're active in the class, if you're not active in the class, if you're not doing that, giving the attendance and leaving the class, your grade are also going to be like that. On that time, I'm not going to be interested. Of course, if I'm not saying that you're not performing, if you're not staying that in the class, you're not listening to your instructor, then how I'm going to be give you, I'm going to be do your assessment. I know that already that you are coming to the class for giving attendance, so that means you are not, you have to do this course again, right? Because a teacher is in the class when what is his activities? It's not his duty only that he's going to be take the class. He's going to be look after that his student, that they're listening, they're participating, they're doing their activities on time, they're serious about their studies, they're serious about their life, they're serious about their aim in life, right? So I cannot see that. So if I'm seeing that actually you're coming here only for giving the attendance, so I'm also going to give you a, right? So that actually you do this course again. So if you do this course again, on that time that is going to be a lesson that okay, I was not serious, and that's why I got F. So now I have to do this course again. So I have to come to the class regularly. So this is that the serious issues now. Actually, I think I am not telling anything, and that is why I think that the students are not taking it seriously. That that if you're doing everything rightly, you'll find that I'm most friendly person in this world. But if you're doing the things wrong, and after getting that the several times that you are getting that the reminder that you should not do this, you should have to do this. If you're not listening me several times, then you'll see that I am the most hardest person in this world. So please ask that the students are doing like this. You can see now in the Google, and inform them that actually you are in trouble. Already you are in trouble. So if you want to continue that the things you're doing, you can continue, but you are going to be in trouble. If students are having that the 40%, 50% attendance in the class for a lab, then he should have to do this class again. In IOBT, according to that the IOBT's rule, look that this is really interesting. That even though that the students are staying in one class and leaving that the leaving take the from leave that the from the class, then also that their attendance should be 50%. But some of the students here, they are even do not have the 50% attendance. So is it happen in that the IOBT that with the 50% attendance students will pass? It has been said, Kamrul, Ashikuজ্জামান, yes, right? So is it have you seen ever that with the 50% student is going to be pass attendance?
No, sir.
Right, exactly. So look at
much more difficult, sir.
yeah, right. 57%. Look, 57%, 71%, 57%. Even three students, their attendance is 57%. At absentee percentage, 57. Come on, right? One student has that more than that, 71%. Right? So how they think that they are going to be passing this course? In IOBT, it has been said that a student's attendance must need to be above 90% to get pass in the course. And here, I am having the students. Their attendance is 71% is absent. How it can be possible? What is that the reason behind it? If you're asking them, if you're catching them, what they'll tell, I'm telling you that sir, I am living in village, my internet issues, sir, my uncle was died, so that's why I did not come to the class. There was some functions, marriage ceremonies, right? A lot of excuses they have. So if you have those lot of excuses, if you are actually 71% time, if you are absent in the class, then why you are who said you to continue that studies in universities? You are not the student. We are not the student of that Dhaka University. We're the student of the private university. I was in the private university. I have never missed out any class. I did not miss out any class in my university life. Even if it is not a valid reason, if it was not a valid reason, I never missed out a class. So I'm saying here that students are enjoying these online activities. That they are thinking that, oh, sir, madam, is they're not actually considering this. It's okay, fine. And also they are saying that they are getting a good grade at the end of the exam. Is it possible really? I have not seen. I am doing that the 1 year online classes. I have not seen that one of my students' attendance is 71.40%. This is the first time. This 1810 and 1910, especially the 1910 page, right? I can see that several students are like that. Then 1920 is fine. 1930. Okay, Mizanur Rahman. His absenteeism is 57.14. So how he is going to be passing this course? If your attendance percentage is 57.14, and if I'm giving you a C in this course, then university is going to ask me that how you have given the C to him. His absentee list is 57%. So and there are several students, they did not miss any classes. Like you are having the Pooja Pishas 0% absent, Sharmin Ahmed Lavunno 0% absent, Afroza Akhtar 0% absent, Russell Mullah 0% absent, Moli 0% absent, Oshim 0% absent, Sylvia Islam 0% absent, Mahinur Alam 0% absent, Ferdowsi Akhtar 0% absent, Galib Al Faisal 0% absent, Mahmoud Akhtar 0% absent, Kamruzzaman 0% absent, Ashikuzzaman 0% absent. So these are the students who are doing 100 classes. All the 14 classes they have done. So why that the other students are like that? There are some students, half of the students are doing the classes regularly. So how about the other half? What exactly they are doing? What is that? This is not matching, right? It can happen. Like one student or two students can have the serious internet issues or serious problems they are facing in their life, and that's why they are not regular. But how it is for the 50% students? How it comes with that the 40 to 50% students, they are not regular into the class? I don't understand it. Anyway, so leave these discussions. I think that in the Google class I have posted that your attendance informations. So you can do one thing, any one of you, please, if you are behalf of me, that if you are doing it into your own messenger group, that your absentee list has been posted in the Google Classroom, give the link and tell them that okay, sir is actually noting, sir is actually taking the list that who are coming to the class, not coming to the class regularly, and they are going to be in trouble. They are going to be in trouble. Just write like that, and then let me see that they are getting seriousness not. If it is not, then I'm going to be. This is the last chance actually. This is the last time I'm telling, and from now on, if I'm going to be observed for the next 2 weeks, and if the 2 weeks I am finding that again students are not getting serious after getting this message, then I'm going to be report their name in the university. Okay, definitely I'm going to be. This is the last time. Please inform your friends if you know them. If please inform them that you are going to be in trouble. That if you're doing this in the further classes. Okay. Anyway, so let's come back. This is the unnecessarily the 15-20 minutes that the discussions I have made. It was not needed. It was not needed. You are not. I'm really sorry that the students are doing like that. They are not. Schoolboys. That okay, I need to find them. I need to talk with their parents. I need to report into that the school that these students are not regular. This is the childish thing, completely childish thing that that the students who are giving the attendance and leaving the class. This is actually really becoming serious now. That they are behaving like that. They are class five students. University students should not be like that. Really, I don't believe it. That how they can go like that. Okay, so the RAM installation that we are talking about, this is what I say that I mean simply that you should have to be open these clips. So when you are opening these clips, then you can see here that there is a notches, and that means there is no pin. You can see that this is that the a place is there with the notches, so that the notches you have on the RAM that you have to match. So you should have to be first place the RAM from the top of the memory slots, and then you're going to be check that the notches are matching or not. If the notches are matching, on that time you are going to be place that the RAM and just press it on the from the top, from the top with your index finger. That I mean you can just press on the top of the RAM. After placing into that the RAM slot, then you have to press from the top of that RAM, and then this clip is automatically going to be locked. And the lock, that lock is going to be like in these notches. Okay, that the switches are going to be locked in these notches. So it should need to be confirmed that the RAM has been installed correctly into that the RAM slots. So we are going to be do this practice in the lab, that how we are going to install it. Actually, it's not so difficult, but for some of the students it's really difficult that how to install a RAM. So if you're practicing for a few times, actually it is going to be easy, very easy for you, so you do not need to be afraid of it. And one thing is that in case of that the processor we said, and in case of the RAM also is same, that we are not going to be touched in these areas of the RAM. Rather than we are going to be catch the RAM from this place, from this place and this place we can catch, also that we can catch from this part to this part. So with the two fingers we are going to be catch from the edges of the RAM stick. So we are not going to be touched on the circuit board, because it can actually harmful for the RAM. So that is what actually you should have to be take the note. And yes, I mean it can happen that when you are installing the RAM, and when you start up the computer system, so if your RAM has been installed properly, then you'll be able to boot, your computer system is going to be boot up easily. But if there is a problem that your computer can give you some informations with that your text, maybe the blue screen, the text information can be come, or maybe that there can be some actually that the message is going to be come from the post, right, the power on self test. So if it is happening, then you should have to disconnect your computer. Actually the power cord should need to be disconnect from the wallet wall outlet. So you should have to be then you should have to be checked that your RAM has been installed properly or not. So again, I mean after installing it properly, if you're starting the computer system, that is going to be fine. And if it is not fine, then you have to check that, I mean with the other RAM, that okay, I mean you should have to collect that the other stick, that I mean the same model other stick, and then you have to check if it is working the second one, then that means first one actually has some problem, and actually you should have to replace your RAM. So this is what. And the last thing here is that the with the CPU jet RAM specifications, if you are looking to that, simply that you will find it out into your computer system if it is installed. Then you'll be get this information about your RAM. So the DDR3 RAM 2 GB size. So you, according to your RAM information, the information is going to become. So you can see that in that the memory you can get this information. So you are having this informations for the timings. So each of them you have to write. I mean you are going to be doing assignments by following this PDF file. So you should have to be, I mean, follow from the beginning to end. That actually I'm going to be come to that. So you are going to be write them. You are going to be write them line by line into your assignments. So you have to tell that actually what is meaning of RAM frequency, what is FSBD RAM, and what is cache, right? So what is RAS? So that actually you should have to be, what are the things are active here, that you should have to write them into your report and tell them that what it is, right? With the 2 sentences, maximum 2 sentences, they are going to be mentioned them. So there is another one, that is the SPD. So that the SPD you are having, that in case that is actually also the part of the memory, that serial presence detect. So in that case also that you will be finding out that the informations in case of the SPD. So you are going to be write down that informations that are active. and then you're going to be tell what are they, and also that the timing tables, what is JDEC, 1, 2, 3, 4, that what are they, you should have to be actually explained. You should have to be explained with the 1 or 2 sentences each of the line. So that is the fact here. So it is telling that some of the module size, maximum bandwidth, and manufacturer name that if you can collect from the internet, that you should have to do, and there are some filling the gaps. So for doing these assignments, it's not it's actually simple assignments to do. It's not that much hard. That you're going to be follow the similar way. That I mean, you're going to be follow that your assignments with that the name of experiments, and then you're going to be write down these 4 steps, and you are going to be determine the amount of RAM into your PC. So how you can actually, what are the ways that actually you can find out that your amount of RAM, so that you're going to be do. So it is not there into your PC, so that means you can actually remove this, but you should have to follow the other procedures like this one. You can take that the pictures from your screenshot from your computer, and then actually you can place it, and you can tell that the information that how actually you can mark it, and you can tell that okay how much RAM you are having. So that is also another one, system information. You can go there, you can go to the properties of your computer. From there also you can take the pictures, you can give the information. So this way you are going to be show, and also that the go to the BIOS. So you already have done that the BIOS assignment. If you have already done, you can get it from that your home screen of the CMOS setup. So you can take the picture and bring here, and actually you can tell that that is another way to find amount of the RAM size. So then if you are coming to that the identifying types of RAM, so in that case you can just simply tell about that the different types of RAMs, and after explaining, after just giving this information, let's simply just tell that what type of RAM you are having into your computer system and give a picture of that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the next thing is that removing and installing RAM. So how you are going to be install your RAM, your RAM into the RAM slot. So give the steps for installing that the RAM you are having into your system. That what are going to be the steps for installing your RAM into that, removing your RAM into that memory slots of your computer motherboard. So that the steps you're going to be give, you do not need to give that these informations, because these are not the part of your computer system. So only that you, in case of the removing and installing RAM, that only that your computer motherboard, on your computer motherboard, what type of memory module or memory slots you're having, and what type of RAM you are required, and how they are going to be installed, step by step pictures you can give. After collecting the pictures from the internet. Okay, so you should have to be know first that actually what type of module you're having and what type of RAM you're having, and with that actually you can find that the pictures in the case of installing and removing, so you can use them directly here, no problem. Then you are coming with the CPU jet specifications, and you are giving that actually full information about your the screenshot of your computer system. Here also the screenshot of your computer system, and with the 1 line information or 2 sentences information, you are going to be tell that actually what are the things are actives. So there are, if you are having that this is the slot number 1 DDR3 RAM installed. So if you are having that the 2, for example, 2 DDR3 RAM installed onto your motherboard, then you can click here on also the slot 2. You should have to be select. So check that how many RAMs you're having into your computer system installed, right? So this is the assignment. So the CPU, for the CPU, the assignment submission date. What was the submission date for the CPU?
27.
So CPU is 27, sir. 27 March.
27 March. So then with the CPU, that RAM is also come with that the 27 March. Okay, these 2 assignments, processor and
Yes,
RAM,
sir.
right? Okay, so do you have anything, any confusions and anything to ask here? So you have done it.
Sir, have we need to write down the all steps, sir?
Again?
Sir,
Russell?
you show some steps, sir. Have we need to write down in a step in our assignment?
Which one? Which part? Which part of that assignment?
Sir, a step you show some steps, sir, in this RAM
Installation and
assignment,
removing.
sir. Like, sir, Yes,
Installation
sir.
and removing.
Installation and removing, and
Yeah,
yes,
I
sir.
think that the
And
steps I said that, I mean, in case of that the RAM, in case of that the RAM, that the first one determining the amount of RAM in your PC, right? So that means what are the ways? Like from BIOS, you come go to the BIOS, right? Give the picture and tell that this is one of the way. Then go to that start up your computer system, go to the properties of computer icon on the desktop. So take the picture, give that, okay, this is another way. Then give that the picture of that your control panel. This is actually that the properties of that the computer icon. And then you go to that the system information, give the picture and show that how much RAM you are having, right? So there are different ways, so step by step you can show. And for identifying the types of RAM, so you can actually just place that the information of the different types of RAMs are available in the market. And then you can go for that your one, which one you are using. So you can give that the picture of your RAM and how many pins are there, what type of RAM it is you're giving, and then removing and installing. That is only for your RAM. What type of your RAM you're having, RAM module you're having into your computer system. That is going to be step by step. Actually, you should have to be show with the pictures that okay, how you're going to be install it, how you're going to be remove it. So that actually can be, you can just if you know that what type of RAM you're having, and then you can simply in this case you can simply collect that the pictures from the internet for this part, removing and installing RAM, and step by step you can explain, right?
yes, sir. Sir, that means, sir, we have need to use several type of pins RAM, and after that we have need to find which type pins type RAM we have used in our PC, sir. That's
Yeah,
it, sir.
that you are getting already from this part, first part itself, right? That what
Yes,
type
sir.
of RAM you are having, right? So you should have to be, after giving that the different RAM information, you should have to be give the picture of your RAM, right? You can just, if
Yes,
you
sir.
know that the model number, if you just you can collect that the picture from the internet and you can give that and you can tell that okay, this is the RAM I am having in my PC, right? And then in case of that the removing and installation, so for this type only that you are going to be tell step by step that how it is going to be installed and how it is going to be removed, that the pictures also can be connected from the internet, okay? And then you are going to
Okay,
be
sir.
go to that the CPU jet, and you are going to be take these pictures and you are going to be line by line you are going to be uh, explain these informations, okay? You understand?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any other questions or comments?
Sir,
So,
if you give more time, sir, like sir 30 marks, then it will be better, sir.
Yeah, so I think that the two assignments are going to be there, right? So if you want 30th month,
Yes,
30
sir. Yes,
March,
sir.
okay, no problem, no problem, okay, no problem.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
then that both of the assignments, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Both
you
of the
can just
assignments.
write down in the Google Classroom. Maybe Ashikujaman can do it. Like for deadline for the CPU and deadline for the CPU and the RAM assignments is 30 March, right? 2021. Okay.
Okay, sir.
sir,
I'll
sir,
update them.
we have
Okay, sir.
submit the assignment and the reports at the same time, right?
Report for what?
I mean the presentation.
For what presentation?
So you told about the presentation that we have to submit an assignment about the RAM and then at the PowerPoint slide.
No, 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 no. That is actually your theory. Why you are mixing it up, the theory and lab? I don't understand.
Yes, sir. Because is our theory, sir, not lab,
That
sir.
is, that is the theory. That is the different thing, right? This is not related with this your experiments. Okay, so don't mix it up. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is going to be 35, 40, 35 pages, 40 pages report, big report. And for based on that, the report you have to prepare the PPT. So that is actually the project work for the CSC 347. And you are having the 15 marks for that, right? So that means you should have to be done, do it, I mean, very nicely. Get it? That is, do not mix it up. Do not mix
So
it up.
I
That,
like I have the same topic for the both That's why I mixed up.
No, that is the not same topic. This is the experiment for that, I mean, RAM, right? And that the topic you have got, project topic, that is that the primary memory, right? And that is actually not only talking about the RAM, but also it is talking about first the memory, primary memory, and what type of primary memories are there. Then you are going to be go for the evaluations, right? That trends of that your RAM. So that is from decade by decade. So are you seeing anything like that into this experiment?
No,
No,
sir.
this is a different thing. This is do not mix it up. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And I hope that it is
Sir,
clear now.
sir,